What's up, Aquarius? As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new here, my name is Mel, and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So this is going to be the monthly tarot scope for October 2022 for the sign of Aquarius. That's Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node. All right, so let's get into it. First, I'm going to pull one card for the general energy of the month. All right. We've got the fifth house, and this says passion. All right, I like this. You wanna know why? The fifth house in astrology, it covers passion, it covers romance, creativity, but it also covers fun. So by and large, I feel like October is going to be a very fun month for you. And I feel like you're sort of meant to, at this point in time, experience a lot of lighthearted energy. I feel like it's time for you. October is going to be one of those months where you don't necessarily have to take things so seriously. I feel like you're going to have more opportunities to have fun. I feel like for some of you, October is going to be a month where you have the opportunity to have more fun with your children. Some of you may have the opportunity to address your inner child and do things that maybe you've put off for a while, or maybe you feel like we're childish or immature. And I feel like you're just going to let your hair down and have some fun. I feel like you need it. Okay, so I feel like October is going to be very pleasant for you. All right, so let's get some more cards here and see what we have. All right, first card out, we have the Two of Cups. All right, so romance is definitely in the cards for you this month. I feel like those romantic feelings, those over-the-top romantic gestures, whispering sweet nothings in the ear, holding hands, I feel like that is what you have to look forward to in October. And then we have the Hermit. So I get the sense that in the past, you guys have been very solitary. Even if you've been partnered up, I feel like you've kind of been in your own world. You've kind of been focusing on yourself, taking a serious look introspectively. Like you've kind of just been, I'm hearing sequestered. Like you've sequestered yourself from everyone and everything, even if you've partnered up, even if you're married or in a serious relationship. But I feel like October is going to be one of those months where you kind of emerge out of your shell. You kind of come out of the cave, and you have all of this energy at your disposal that's like romantic and creative and fun. All right. I really like that. All right, let's get some more cards here. All right, so we've got the Moon and we've got the Three of Swords. All right, so I feel like this is also going to be a very emotional month. I feel like you're just going to fall into this sea of emotions when it comes to romance. I feel like romance, dating, relationships, love, passion, I feel like all of that is going to be turned up a notch this month. It's like, it's almost like turning the volume up on like your phone or your radio, right? And so you're going to be inundated with all of this romantic energy. And I feel like it may also trigger some emotional wounds related to relationships, right? So even though things in your immediate environment, I think they may be good, especially when it comes to romance and relationships, but I feel like it's also going to be a little triggering. Because like I said, I feel like you guys had sequestered yourselves for a while. You've kind of been in your own world. And when you emerge now, you're going to emerge and you're going to be like inundated in a sea of romance. And it may trigger like old feelings. It may trigger old heartbreaks. It may trigger things from the past that really hurt you or traumatized you. So by and large, I feel like not only is October going to be a very fun month, it's also going to be very romantic and extremely emotional, okay? But I get the sense that you can handle it. I don't get the sense that you're going to be swept away by the sea of your emotions. I get more of the sense that you're going to be able to examine whatever comes up from being triggered. I get the sense that you're going to be able to like examine it intellectually and sort of make sense of it, okay? Let's get 3 more cards with this deck. That's 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So the first card out is the Two of Wands. Then we have the World, followed by the Star. All right. So I get this sense that like a certain cycle has ended, right? And so you're emerging on this new cycle. And I feel like this new cycle has a lot to do with relationships and romance, right? And so I feel like you're trying to just decide which way to go. Like you're trying to decide what you're looking at, what's available to you in terms of your relationships, and you're trying to decide which way to go. Okay. But I get the sense that you feel pretty optimistic. Again, I don't get the sense that you are overwhelmed by your emotions, or that you're being swept away by your emotions. I get the sense that you're able to understand them intellectually. You're like, okay, this is what's coming up. Why is this coming up? Oh yeah, because I experienced this in the past. Well, I'm not experiencing that now, so I think that things are good. Like, I feel like that's sort of your mental process when it comes to whatever is emotionally triggering you this month. But I feel like you're very hopeful. I feel like when it comes to romance and relationships, you're going to feel very idyllic. Like, you're not going to be looking at relationships from a very realistic standpoint. You know, as a sign, Aquarius tends to be a little bit emotionally detached. You guys definitely live in the brain. And so when it comes to emotions, it's not like you're not emotional, but I get the sense that it's usually intellect over emotions for you. And I feel like that is sort of going to be flipped on its head a little bit this month. Again, I don't get the sense that you're going to get carried away with your emotions, but I feel like when it comes to things like romance, when it comes to things like love, being loved, being accepted, I feel like you guys are going to be very idyllic, very pie in the sky, very rose-colored glasses when it comes to relationships. And I feel like that's a breath of fresh air for you because, again, I feel like you guys have been sort of sequestered in the recent past, and your emergence, like out of the cave right now, is going to be all about relationships and romance. And I feel like this is going to feel good to you. I don't get the sense that you're going to feel overwhelmed or scared or hesitant. I get the sense that you're just going to feel good about this. I feel like you're going to ride the wave, and I feel like you're going to allow yourself to be hopeful. I feel like you're going to allow, some of you are really going to allow yourselves to fall in love, like head first and just fall, right? And again, this is very different from how you've been in the past because, like I said, a certain cycle has just completed. And now I think that it's time. You've learned some lessons in the past. It may have been like, if it wasn't shadow work, I feel like something opened your heart where you were able to understand your emotions better, but you were also understanding like vulnerability. And I feel like in this new chapter, you're going to allow yourself to be vulnerable. I feel like many of you are going to open yourselves up to love and everything that it has to offer. So I feel like not only are you going to benefit from this, but I also feel like your partner is going to benefit from this as well, because it's going to form a very strong bond because you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're allowing yourself to be emotional. You're allowing yourself to be idyllic when it comes to relationships. All right. So there's a lot to gain in October with respect to your relationships. And I think it's all good. Like, it's really good. Some of you are trying to decide when it comes to someone if you sort of want to open yourself up to them. I feel like even if you were with someone, like you were very much detached from them. There was definitely a wall that you put up that you wouldn't let them cross, especially emotionally. Like, you know, it's not like you were completely cold with them, but I feel like when it came to certain emotions and opening up about things, there was like a hard stop for you. And I feel like October is going to allow you to sort of bring that wall down. All right. But many of you are deciding, is this person the right person to let my wall down for? Okay. So some of you are going to be examining your past relationships. So in answering that question, and answering the question of whether this person is the right person to let down your walls for, a lot of you are going to be looking at your past relationships and the lessons that you've learned in those relationships in order to come to an answer to that question. All right. But by and large, October is about being hopeful. It's about letting romance in. It's about letting love in, learning from your past mistakes when it comes to relationships, and letting yourself fall headfirst in love. All right. So now I'm going to pick 3 rapid fire cards. We're going to have one for relationship, one for career and money, and one is general advice for the month. I mean, this message was about relationships, but let's see if there's anything else that Spirit has to say about that. We've got 2, but I'll take them. All right. So we've got confusion. And we have deja vu. Right. So some of you are really going to be examining past relationships. Whoever you're dealing with right now, I feel like the situation of that person may be very reminiscent of a past relationship, and it may have you confused. Remember, I said you're trying to figure out if this is the person that you can let your walls down for. And I feel like some of their actions, their characteristics or mannerisms may remind you of a past relationship. And so you're a bit confused as to whether this is the person to be emotionally vulnerable with. But from what I'm seeing right here, I feel like the answer to that is yes. It's not about letting your walls down completely, like from jump. But I feel like at a certain point in time, it's going to be safe for you to love this person. It's going to be safe for you to open up to this person. All right. Let's get one card here for money and career. That's too many. Here we go. All right, we've got the moon. So things aren't necessarily what you think they are. I think things are changing when it comes to money and career, but you can't yet see what the end result is going to be. So there may be a little fear, there may be a little hesitation when it comes to money and career, because it's like you can sense that things are changing, but you don't know if it's changing for the better or for worse, right? But I feel like by and large, there aren't, actually, let me clarify this and see what this is, because I don't see any cards here related to money. So let's get a little clarification on this moon card when it comes to money and career. All right, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. This is great. So even though you can't see how things are going to transpire with respect to money and career, it's going to work out extremely well. The 10 of Pentacles is a lot of pentacles, right? So I feel like money is looking good, even though you can't necessarily see it yet, all right? So it's not to say that in October, you're going to have this windfall of money or things. It may not be the final step when it comes to money or career, but I feel like you're on the right track, okay? So if you're feeling optimistic, if you're feeling good about money, that's because things are actually working out in your favor, all right? And finally, let's get one last card to get some advice for the month. Oops, that's too many. All right, we've got co-create. All right, and this directly speaks to what this whole reading was about. I feel like there's a lot that you can do with your partner, whether this partner is coming in or whether it's an existing partner. I feel like there's a lot that you can create. You can create stability. You can create money, a home. I feel like there's a lot that can be, a lot of good things can transpire between you and a partner this month if you'll allow yourself to be emotionally vulnerable. So the advice is let your walls down. All right. Be emotionally vulnerable. Allow yourself to feel love, romance, and passion, because I feel like nothing but good things can come from it this month. All right, Aquarius, that has been your tarot scope for the month of October. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. Speaking of readings, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, that link is in the description box below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy October, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.